update with the Brownies. Their biggest curse that's related to Belichick, and I've known this for a while, is Bernie Kosar. Think like Bernie Sanders getting blamed for Trump getting elected, right? So Bernie Kosar was cut by Bill Belichick. As the Browns QB, he was a hometown hero, grew up there, all that sort of shit. So he needs to kick the bucket before Belichick can come back. So obviously, you would think like, oh, well, that's not good. You're waiting for somebody to die. Well, he's having a liver transplant today. He underwent surgery like 2 hours ago. And, no updates yet. But I think the big tell that it's not going to go right is his originally scheduled donor, like the kidney had an infection. So they had to use a different kidney. So we want him to drop dead. So Belichick can come back in the building. Check out this roster, like as far as like the coaching staff. And now first, as far as the actual roster itself. So obviously it's past the trade deadline. And they desperately need help at receiver. Well, Josh Gordon helps you at number 1. Jerry Jeudy is perfectly fine at number 2. Just have him go deep, right? And then number 3, the slot receiver, Julian Edelman, is suspiciously 39 years old. If he was 40, I'd say no way in hell. But he doesn't turn 40 until May. And he actually just made a weird quote about how he'd want to play for the Giants, right? Because Mike Vrabel's there. So I think those players fix the wide receiver issue, which is really the only like personnel issue on the team. The Browns are solid apart from there if they can get the QB trained up. So here's how they do that. So obviously Belichick's your head coach. You make your offensive coordinator a former NFL quarterback who outdueled Tom Brady, with Nick Foles. You go with Doug Peterson as your offensive coordinator. So he knows how to game plan around, his quarterback strengths. He was able to do it with different quarterbacks in a single season, so he can adjust, right? Then you make the actual QB coach Bruce Arians, Tom Brady's coach in Tampa, who is known for airing it out. He's supposed to be a QB guru, right? He's an old head too, but since he's like so old, get an assistant QB coach, bring in Drew fucking Bledsoe, who was basically, I didn't realize this until I was looking into it, but like he was basically the best rookie in the history of the NFL. So nobody would know about rapid development better than him, right? So and of course, the Belichick relationship. Now, running backs coach, I'm thinking Kevin Falk. It's not great, but it makes sense. Wide receivers coach, Deion Branch. Just like the Deion Sanders thing. So Deion Branch, perfect fit at wide receivers coach. Tight ends coach, Freddie Kitchens, former Browns head coach, is already paired up with Belichick and UNC. So just bring Freddie Kitchens over, do what he does best, coach up the tight ends. You got Harold Fannin Jr. and Njoku. That should be nasty. Offensive line coach, no brainer, Joe Thomas, the best Cleveland Brownie this fucking millennium. Okay, who happens to be with the Ravens, but not really with the Ravens, with the Munich Ravens. They got this motherfucker over in Germany, Hall of Fame lineman. Right, of course you're going to poach him off the Munich Ravens. That's some horseshit, right? So that's the whole offense fixed right there. And then on the defensive side of things, you keep Jim Schwartz as defensive coordinator because when you got so much turnover, any form of stability you can keep, I think, is a plus. So just keep Schwartz there, former head coach. He knows what he's doing. I mean, think of all the former head coaches on this fucking team, dude, right? Defensive line, this one's a little bit tricky, but I'm thinking just go balls to the wall and get fucking Lawrence Taylor. Just get Lawrence Taylor and Vince Wilfork. Right, those two I think could definitely, because like the D-line's solid, right? It's more like a morale thing there, I feel like, than scheme. So just bring in some guys that can keep those guys focused and fired up. I think those two do the trick. Linebackers, Teddy Bruschi, why not bring him in? Is that defensive backs, right? So then that just leaves like the safeties and the cornerbacks, right? Nick fucking Saban. Tell me that's not just a killer fucking lineup. Run it back. Belichick Dougie P, Bruce Arians, Kevin Falk, Dion Branch, Freddie Kitchens, Joe Thomas, Schwartz, Lawrence Taylor and Will Fork, Teddy Bruschi, and Nick Saban with Drew Bledsoe as the assistant QB coach. I mean, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 former head coaches. Doesn't that sound like just the perfect number? I just realized we still need a special teams coach. So Adam Vinatieri in a FanDuel commercial coached Rob Gronkowski on how to coach a field goal. So that's good enough for me. And Coach, just realized that's actually a really good transition we can do into telling you Coach accurately predicted Sam Laporta getting injured. So they put him on injured reserve. They're calling it devastating news. You know, they're saying he'll miss at least 4 games. They're hopeful he'll be back this season. But that, of course, opens the door for Rob Gronkowski, who we think is going to be a Detroit Lion, who just happened to retire right at the same time. Basically, like within days of Sam Laporta being put on IR, he retires as a Patriot. So it's his second retirement, setting up perfectly for a third retirement with Tom. And in case Coach didn't mention it in the last video, Rob Gronkowski did smash a guitar in celebration